May the peace of the Lord be with you all. Today's Gospel Reflection, August 17th, 2025, Sunday.
In those days, the princes said to the king, "Jeremiah ought to be put to death. He is demoralizing the soldiers who are left in this city, and all the people by speaking such things to them. He is not interested in the welfare of our people, but in their ruin." King Zedekiah answered, "He is in your power." For the king could do nothing with them. And so they took Jeremiah and threw him into the cistern of Prince Malchiah, which was in the quarters of the guard, letting him down with ropes. There was no water in the cistern, only mud. And Jeremiah sank into the mud. Ebed-melech, a court official, went there from the palace and said to him, "My lord king, these men have been at fault in all they have done to the prophet Jeremiah, casting him into the cistern. He will die of famine on the spot, for there is no more food in the city." Then the king ordered Ebed-melech the Cushite to take 3 men along with him and draw the prophet Jeremiah out of the cistern before he should die.
Responsorial Psalm. Lord, come to my aid. I have waited for the Lord, and he stooped toward me. Lord, come to my aid. The Lord heard my cry. He drew me out of the pit of destruction, out of the mud of the swamp. He set my feet upon a crag. He made firm my steps. Lord, come to my aid. And he put a new song into my mouth, a hymn to our God. Many shall look on in awe and trust in the Lord. Lord, come to my aid. Though I am afflicted and poor, yet the Lord thinks of me. You are my help and my deliverer. Oh my God, hold not back. Lord, come to my aid.
Brothers and sisters, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us rid ourselves of every burden and sin that clings to us, and persevere in running the race that lies before us, while keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus, the leader and perfecter of faith. For the sake of the joy that lay before him, he endured the cross, despising its shame, and has taken his seat at the right of the throne of God. Consider how he endured such opposition from sinners, in order that you may not grow weary and lose heart. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding blood.
The Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "I have come to set the earth on fire, and how I wish it were already blazing. There is a baptism with which I must be baptized, and how great is my anguish until it is accomplished. Do you think that I have come to establish peace on the earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. From now on a household of 5 will be divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. A father will be divided against his son, and a son against his father, a mother against her daughter, and a daughter against her mother, a mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." The Gospel of the Lord. Reflection. People often paints a picture of peace as the absence of conflict, such as a quiet home, friendly workplaces, harmonious communities. But when Jesus spoke about his mission, he didn't present it as simply bringing calm. Instead, he spoke of bringing a fire to the earth, a refining flame that would purify hearts, challenge the status quo, and awaken people from spiritual complacency. That fire is not meant to destroy but to transform, just as gold is refined in heat, and in the process, it can cause division, even among people who love each other. Faith, when lived authentically, does not always make you agreeable to everyone. It calls you to stand for truth even if the truth is uncomfortable. Imagine a young professional who chooses to decline a lucrative but unethical business deal. Their friends might call them too idealistic or missing out. Or think of a student who refuses to cheat during an exam, while classmates mock them for being too righteous. These moments feel small compared to the grand events of history, yet they reflect the same reality. Following Jesus can draw lines that others may not understand or accept. The division Jesus spoke of is not about stirring up quarrels for the sake of being difficult. It is about the natural tension that happens when light meets darkness. Sometimes the values of God's kingdom clash with the values of the world. Honesty may look foolish in a culture that rewards shortcuts. Purity may seem outdated in a society that normalizes casual immorality. Generosity may look impractical in a time where self-preservation dominates. But this is where the refining fire does its work. It burns away compromise, fear, and comfort-driven living. One of the hardest places to live this out is within our own families. Picture a young woman in a non-Christian household who decides to serve in full-time ministry. Her parents may worry about financial security, her relatives may criticize her for wasting her potential, and friends might distance themselves. The tension can be painful, but it is part of the cost of discipleship. Love for family remains, but allegiance to Christ must come first. In our modern world, there are countless arenas where this spiritual fire is needed. A teacher who stands against the manipulation of school funds, a politician who refuses under-the-table deals, even if it costs them the election, a church member who calls for integrity and accountability within the leadership. These actions may lead to misunderstandings, criticism, or even broken relationships, but they are signs that the refining work of God is active. We must remember that fire not only consumes, it also illuminates. When you live with integrity, it can inspire others to examine their own compromises. When you choose compassion over selfishness, it can melt hardened hearts. When you hold on to truth, even when unpopular, it can spark a movement toward righteousness. The challenge for us today is to stop avoiding the fire. Many of us want a faith that is comfortable, agreeable, and universally liked. But true discipleship will sometimes set you apart, make you misunderstood, or even cost you relationships. And yet, in that separation, there is also a deep peace. The peace of knowing you are aligned with God's will, not just human approval. If you are feeling that heat right now, like facing rejection for doing what's right, feeling isolated because of your convictions, take heart. The fire you carry is not random suffering. It is the refining presence of God at work in you. It is shaping you into someone who will stand, even when the crowd walks away. So, live boldly. Let the fire within you burn bright enough to challenge, refine, and inspire. For in the end, it is better to stand with God and be apart from the world, than to stand with the world and be apart from God.